now that we've done everything I want to do, we can actually advance what we were up to. I'll wait for it to turn.
This is too easy.
I'm pretty good now.
This is too easy.
Of all the animations, everything that you may notice is running at perfectly smooth 60. Except for exactly one thing, and that's the reload animations. The enemies are hiding exactly here. I'm going to turn around now that I've aggroed them.
This is too easy.
A little chuckle is your signal to fire.
This is too easy.
The owner of Fukushima is mixed up in all sorts of things. The International Ethics Committee, the IEC. Chief, watch yourself. The ethics agents, or hyenas, motley crew of rejects. The assassins trained in the Corps, those guys are for real. The Yakumo Party Cabinet Policy, or the Yakumo. A bunch of paper, but it can change the world. The UN Party, my friend. So, Travis introduced a bunch of things about this case as to the reason why a lot of things are falling apart.
This is too easy.
He posits that it's because of what's called the Yakumo, which is slightly touched on. Well, I guess that's the first mention of it, but basically treat the Yakumo as the MacGuffin in this plot. How much of a MacGuffin is the Yakumo? It's enough of a MacGuffin, and it's a aware MacGuffin too. Like all the characters recognize it. So the response is, well, we need to kill this man over it. So while we've been sent to kill Taru Fukushima for one reason, the UN wants the Yakumo, which is a completely different thing going on in the background. Another carrier pigeon. Gonna be another message from Johnny Gagnon. Continuing my report, Kevin Smith never fails to amaze. You won't believe this, but it is straight up truth. The sucker is a real-life invisible man. At first, even I didn't believe it. This has got to be a hoax, right? Well, shit, this guy's for real. Con Smith? What a pain in the ass punk. I can never catch him. Lose my socks off 9 times. When he speeds off, he disappears. That's right, he disappears. The Olympic records mean nothing to him running around. Coyote Smith has a thing for being a crook. But he's not like other thugs. He's fit, he jumps like an animal, incredible athleticism. Not to mention he can pick any padlock. I must have picked this up as a method of survival in rough neighborhoods. And then there's Garcian again. I really haven't seen him much, so everything I know is based on conjecture. Rumor has it he can spot the Heaven Smiles a mile away. The character is no joke. Going up against monsters like that, my investigation continues. Johnny Gagnon, these nuts. There you go. You may notice this in the background.
Don't make me say it again. I'm a cleaner.
You wanna die, huh?
What?
Wake up Kevin.
Okay.
Wake up Con. Because I will absolutely need Khan's abilities in a second. Got counterattack now, which is actually nice.
I'll take care of them. Judge, I'll take care of them.
We'll go mask for now. His ability is going to get used in almost a second. And he's going to be featured in the cutscene. What do you do when you're blocked from the kitchen door? You use your wrestling moves. Gravity-defying suplex. I love it.
What's in your right hand, Chico?
Please don't. This is just a...
Put your arms down.
No, it's not like that. This gun is a...
Don't move, amigo.
Please don't shoot.
Stay still.
Ow!
What were you doing here?
Cleaning up. Our head chef always tells us that an ideal kitchen is a kitchen clean enough that you can lick the floor. Anyway, it's the least that I can do for them.
The others. The chef, the waiters. Where are they?
Those guys with the strange smiles. You saw them?
It's dangerous, Aki. Get out of here.
Awesome.
What a cutscene. Well, you got fired at with a gun. What do you do? Oh, you headbutt the bullet. Ah. I'll do that next time. Introduction of a new enemy. The nice thing is that we can kind of tank shots as a mask. And not have to worry too much about what goes on. This is going to be a grander puzzle that I don't want to spend too much time on. So I'm actually going to go Khan for this. And we're going to use his character ability. It's better off to just avoid. So this is, as you can see, a north, south, east, west map. Genbu is north. And just need to internalize it. This is one of the times where the aesthetic actually is also a clue. As it says, hallway west. So if this is the west hallway, we need to close. Genbu is north. Byaku was west. There's empty void rooms, by the way. Like, there's nothing in there. Right, I gotta hit E when they get that close.
Dangerous.
This is the north house. Genbu is north.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
Genbu. There you go. I feel like I want to listen to what Travis has to say here. So, I mentioned, or I said that Yakumo is treated a bit as a MacGuffin, and it's very vague what kind of MacGuffin it is.
Dangerous.
But Travis is describing it as something that will alter the course. I'm gonna eat this damage and just keep walking forward. Yeah, the Yakumo is described as something that will change the course of history. And you're allowed to decide if it's a good or bad thing. But if he dies, then the path will be set. We're going to be locked into a future. I believe I'm supposed to close the dragon here. I just closed Genbu's. There was enough combat going on that I've like lost track of where I am. Before that guy comes over, I'm gonna inspect this carrier pigeon. To my dearest Amir, the world is falling into chaos as those ruled by deep darkness increase in number. The world is falling into chaos as those ruled by a deep darkness increases in number. There is one group they fear, the Harmon Assassins. I don't want to call them on you. Consider setting up a payment plan. I found the target of their first job, Travis Bell. He disappeared 30 years ago. It's no mistake he was murdered. Few people remember him, and nobody said they were with him. Seems he got himself in some dangerous business. I'll follow the murderer's trail, no doubt a bottomless pit. Can't stop shaking, but I will put my life in line and find out. I'll be contacting you again. Yeah, so there's always a constant sentiment that it's supposed to be Travis Touchdown is their first assassin target. Which is a neat idea, but not really, even though in the way they act, they could be the same person. It's just a bit of a coincidence. Not too much to get hung up on. Especially with the newest information. This is a LP being recorded and uploaded in the year 2021. Which means that... Okay, Red Phoenix. We have the hindsight of Travis Strikes Back, which features Dan Smith in the opening cutscene. And possibly more. For anyone who doesn't know, Suda 51 games are all connected. There's a lot to go over, and too much to connect, but Killer7, I believe, is the one that stands out the most individually. And the reasons for that are plentiful and varied. I think I want to touch... No, I don't. I was going to say I want to touch the door to Harmon's room before I go forward. Honestly, I think I'll be fine. Next. We're back. And I was gonna go ahead and gotta do it quicker. How many of these do I have? 7? Okay. I'm tempted to heal Khan just so he can be the front runner. We got our hint. My favorite thing about that model is that even though it's a kid's model, they keep it just transparent enough. They've actually rendered a skull behind the model. So, the secret of this fight.
Hurts, doesn't it?
Just kind of hit him. And my job here is done. From here, we could just head to the end of the sequence. I don't remember what kind of boss fight we have next. Our hint is that the next sequence of events is going to be a fight where you don't stop shooting no matter what. But first we have a story cutscene. But also, she is pretty strong, huh?
We've been expecting you. If you will, right this way, please. Mr. Fukushima is waiting for you inside.
I always wanted to be a tea master. It's one of the reasons I chose this profession.
Which profession may that be?
You're an interesting man, and you ask a very difficult question. Perhaps it's a sense of humor that can only come from someone who lives his life on the edge. I wanted to become a politician who could be a true leader, but the world of politics was like a stage where people only acted. They were merely actors playing the politician.
Did you ever think of becoming an actor?
Well, it just so happened that I got a call from the government asking me if I wanted to become an architect for them.
Architect? You mean to design and devise?
Yes, I took the offer with delight.
Is that the only thing you do, Mr. Fukushima, the founder?
Could you bring us some refreshments?
Certainly.
It's a really old story. Union 7, a group made up of 7 young men, drew up the Yakumo Party cabinet policy. The heat of factional politics eventually broke down the Union 7. It was like a warm welcome in the world of politics. It became clear to me then, this country didn't have what it took to compete with the rest of the world.
It must be wonderful to have such a bright secretary.
Not as bright as you, Mr. Smith.
Hand over the Yakumo.
Lady, where are your manners?
Yep. That's a really fun cutscene. There's a lot talked about and you can glaze over, but this introduces the Yakumo as a part of the Union 7. We're gonna need to save here. She's a hottie, ain't she? What a waste, though. At last fruitless attempt of resistance by the Liberal Party, using a woman as a weapon, that doesn't bode well for them. What kind of thing only inept party would do? Japanese politicians are rotten to the core. Smith, there's no Seth discrimination here. Don't hesitate. Take her out like the rest of them. Because of the advice, we're gonna do this with Conda Smith.
The United States. Interesting. That never meant to be named. Whenever I see a punk, the assassin starts to stir. And here, it's all about enjoying myself. Sure, you got the balls for a shootout? Dead or alive, you're going down. You blow past a single minute against me. Better get ready to die.
And the mission here, how do you win, is really just keep firing for an entire minute. Taking a bit of damage. You don't actually take damage, so you don't have to worry about running out of health, which is kind of nice. She's interrupted my firing pattern. I could actually lose here.
Yakumo will destroy your country. Back off before you get hurt.
And that's it. That's the first half of Sunset Complete. We're gonna have a bunch more cutscenes go down, I believe, before we head back into a mission. Every time. I this point, you're allowed to save, interact with the TV, find out what you can, but there's not very much to actually do here. So what you want to do is just keep going.